Hello, my name is Father John Rickert. I'm pastor at Immaculate Conception Church in Omaha, Nebraska. Did another video on syllogisms, but it turned out very long, and so here I'm going to try to do this very, very quickly, just so we can jump straight to it and you can get the essential ideas. And I'm going to do a couple of other follow-up videos, so hopefully if you absorb what's here, you'll have what you need for the other videos. Here are the standard statements that we have, the A, E, I, O. Those should be familiar to all P is Q, some P is Q, no P is Q, some P is not Q. Those are the standard statements. Now what's different about the system that I'm talking about here is our diagrams are different. And so this is the diagram for each of them. All P is Q, we'll put P here and Q here. For some P is Q, we'll have what I call a Y diagram. And so we'll put P here, Q here. We'll have some point that they have in common, and then we'll have the empty set down here. And so what this is, the way we read this diagram is to say that P and Q have something in common, not just plain nothing. They actually have something in common. That's very important for later on. No P is Q is very similar. We'll use a different form here, saying that all P is not Q. And in the next video, we'll talk about why that's okay. I know that question came up, that here we have all P is Q, here we have all P is not Q, which is to say the same thing as no P is Q. And then finally, to say some P is not Q, we have a very similar diagram again. Some P is not Q. And so those are the diagrams that we'll use. So the long video talks at great length about some operations we can do on these diagrams, but the only one that we'll really need for syllogisms is the contrapositive. So when we say all P or Q, it follows that if you're not Q, then you cannot be P. If you were, then that would push you right back up to Q. So what we can do then is when we have a diagram like this, is we can flip the limits and negate them. And doing that again, we get this, which takes us back to our original diagram. And so that is to say that the contrapositive is equivalent to the original statement. That's the only operation on diagrams that we'll need for this video. And so the method, now that we have these diagrams, is very simple. We'll diagram our assumptions, fit the diagrams together if that's possible to do, and then we'll see what conclusion follows if one does follow. And so here's an example. I'm going to go ahead and use 3 assumptions rather than 2, just to show that these diagrams are very efficient for this. So let's see, all P are Q, all P are Q, and all Q are R, okay, and no R is S, which is to say all R is not S. So we just get 3 simple diagrams. We can attach these 2 together. We can attach these 2 together. That's the way they have to go together. The only way to put these diagrams together basically is to say this. I've got P, Q, R, and then I have S bar up here. And so when I look at that, that tells me that no P is S. Therefore, no P is S. Here's another example I have for you. All P are Q, some P is not R, and all S is R. So let's see what happens with that. All P are Q, all P are Q, and some P is not R, some P is not R, but so they have something in common. And finally, all S is R. Okay, so we look at this and we say, well, wait a minute, this P and this P will match up nicely, so that much seems clear that I can glue this onto there. That's no problem. Here I'm thinking, wait a minute though, what I can do is I can use my contrapositive trick, right? So my contrapositive trick tells me that what I can do is I can flip the order of these and negate them. And so now I have something where this will attach to this. And therefore, when I put all these diagrams together, what I get is this. I have P here and Q here. So that's joining these two, right? And then I still have my R bar here, and then my R bar goes up to S bar here. So I realize I'm doing this very quickly, but hopefully you can see, stare at it a moment, press the pause button, you can see that these are the diagrams, and then they fit together like this. And so now we can reach a conclusion. Therefore, sum Q is not S. And I would say that this would be probably quite difficult to do using Venn diagrams, but with these little graphs it's really quite easy. So thank you for watching. If you want to see more discussion, there's the 30-minute video. It actually has some different examples in it. I didn't just copy these over. So definitely hope that you enjoy doing syllogisms in this way. Thank you.